the view! Go to view! Aubrey Lee.
My first Green Bay experience in 2015 felt awesome. It was easy the whole way. My legs ached, but I was at sea level, so I had oxygen, I could breathe. I felt like I was ready to go do my next one and see how far I could push myself. My next half was 3 weeks later, run into the wild, and it ended up being a lot hotter than it was supposed to be that day. Very little aid stations. Came through the finish line, had a PR, cut off half an hour off my first half marathon time, and immediately passed out at the finish line. When the EMTs got to me, I had a heart rate of 240 and it wouldn't go down. So they took me to the ER where they kept me overnight doing multiple tests. Finally, they told me I had a segment elevation heart attack, basically. My heart was elevated for too high for too long. They ran every different kind of test you could think of, decided that I had SVT and was getting stuck at a high rate. So they decided to do surgery to do an ablation because it wasn't a matter of if it happened again, but when. And with how high it was, they were concerned for my safety. After my heart thing, I was a little leery getting back into training. It kind of took me a while, even though the doctor said everything was okay and that everything was fine and all the tests came back okay. I still had to get over my own fear. So I got a heart rate monitor watch so I could watch that. That made me feel a little better, but it took me a little while to get back into it. In January, I probably got in about 3 training runs and 1 5K. Then we decided to go hike the Manitou Incline in January. We made it all the way up. We made it all the way back down, and we were about 10 feet from the parking lot. I stepped and my right leg slipped from underneath me. My back leg caught behind on the road tie that I just stepped off of and twisted and shattered. As soon as I went down, I remember saying, call 911, call 911. You're like, no, you're good, shake it off, you're good, you got this. And I said, no, I heard a snap, and you're like, oh, that was your leg. EMTs got there. It was so slick in that spot. They all started to slide and almost dropped me, and thankfully Jake caught it. Had a really painful experience in the ER. They decided to try to set my leg instead of send me straight to surgery, which looks like in the long run actually caused more breaks. It was incorrectly set. So by the time I got home from Colorado Springs, I was in so much excruciating pain. So my mom called the surgeon in the morning. They got me in and he took a look at it and he sent me straight to the hospital and said we had to get in and do surgery right away, or it would be too late to do the surgery because the swelling would be too great after 24 hours and they'd have to wait another week for swelling to decrease before they could do surgery. So he put a plate and 9 screws in my tibia. And I remember being so mad in the ER going, I'm still going to Green Bay, I already paid for it, I'm gonna go. Even though that wasn't the important thing at that moment, but I just remember thinking, I just got over this heart thing and now I'm down and out. And I was thinking, okay, I'm down and out for a month or 2. So I was a little shocked at my post-op appointment when he told me that I wouldn't be able to run for at least a year to a year and a half. That was a pretty big blow to me. So I started running at the very end of September 2016, 9 months ahead of schedule. We had talked about it on and off, but mid-December I finally decided, okay, I'm feeling strong enough, I think I can start training, and I have enough time to be able to do this and do a half marathon. There were days I felt great and everything clicked and everything jived and I would feel really good out there. I'm like, okay, yes, I can do this. And then the next day I'd go out or the next run and every single step would be excruciating. Every time my leg would hit the ground, it'd just be pain up my whole entire shin just through the break. And I would go back and forth between thinking, okay, I got this feels good, I feel awesome, to there's no way I can do this. It was a really big, long roller coaster ride. I did my 8-mile training run, felt awesome, and then I went camping that weekend. I felt my back kind of tweak and just really started hurting. My back hurt so bad. I was just like, no, not this close. And that's where I stopped my training for the half and just started getting massage appointments and chiropractor and acupuncture and anything I could do to get it calmed down enough to hopefully be able to still do the half marathon. We were walking around downtown in Chicago on Thursday before the race. Everything locked back up. It felt like the first day. It was so painful. We would be walking around downtown and I'd make everybody stop. I even laid down in the middle of Chicago on the concrete and was stretching to try to get it to loosen up. It was that painful. And I kept saying as we were going, I can't do this. I don't think I can do this. It hurts so bad. If I can't even walk around Chicago, how am I gonna run 13 miles? There's no way I can do this.
Can't stop, won't stop. Where the brakes at? I give him that diddy bop. Like take that, take that, take that, take that. I'ma put in work, I'ma do that ASAP. Throw my faith in rap, but they say don't say that, huh? What I'ma turn down for? I feel like Shaq in 9-4, breaking glass in that backboard. I like Kobe in Toronto, huh? Dropping 81, yo I dropped the 88. Ricky Bobby, shake and bake, sleeping on it, should've stayed awake, huh? Everybody make mistakes like VJs, tryna say my name, it's Minio. Say it with me, Minio. Okay, great, 2 forks high, raise the stakes, risk it all, I take the hate. This the winning team, get the Gatorade. My guy good, but he's not safe, nah. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. That's all you got. Come on with it. That's all you got. You can't stop me. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. You can't stop me. You're my biggest opponent. You know me, I know you, we know it. Whenever I fail, you always been there to simply remind me I've blown it. You don't see when I'm growing. You don't see where I'm going. You only see in the moment. You know my mistakes. You never let go it. Don't cease to amaze me, and it drive me crazy. Did you catch every detail that I missed in the songs I'm making? Saying you will never write a verse like Kendrick, never be the rapper I got from Hendrix. Top 10 alive, you will never be mentioned. Why aim so high, won't survive the trenches. Plus, you a Christian, Andy. They will never listen, Andy. Plus, we a pigment, Andy. You don't got skill, you a gimmick, Andy. Well, if I listen to you and everything you put in my ear, I be living like woulda, shoulda, coulda. I be paralyzed by fear. Ain't that the truth? If I quit, the only way I lose. I got 2 choices when I do this: make moves or make excuses. If you know who I'm talking about, then you got me. My biggest enemy is me, and even I can't stop me. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. That's all you got. Come on with it. That's all you got. You can't stop me. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option.
After the first 2 steps, I thought, I can't do this. I can't do this. It hurts. I was like, no, keep going, keep going. 1.5 miles. Oh my goodness, I can't do this. This hurts. And then I would get a little bit of a good rhythm and it would feel okay and I'd be okay and I'd keep going. And then I'd hit another point where every step. Knife in my back, knife in my back, knife in my back. And I just, every mile, I was like, okay, one more mile down, one more mile down. By mile 9, I was just like, I can't. And then I just stopped myself. I'm like, nope, I can't tell myself I can't. So I stopped letting myself say I couldn't anymore in my head. Anytime it would come up, I'd just stop myself. But it was painful from the very first step all the way through. And I wouldn't have kept going or finished if it hadn't been for Jake and Wendy encouraging me. It just felt like, I don't know, there's not words to describe it. It was just so overwhelming to accomplish something that you've worked so hard for and had to fight for every step for the last year and a half and overcome a lot of different challenges and battles with my heart surgery and my leg, and then to come so close and then have my back. And it was just an overwhelming sense of accomplishment, joy. I don't know. It was really overwhelming. Life is hard, and you are constantly going to have people telling you can't do things. And there'll times where your circumstances seem too hard to overcome. No matter what gets thrown in your path, you can do all things. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You can accomplish anything you're willing to fight for, and you're willing to put in the work, and you're willing to overcome the challenges and the pain, and if you're willing to not give up, you can do anything.